Our dependency on AI has increased so dramatically over the last few years. It's gotten to a point now where we can't think for ourselves without using it. Gone are the days where you could have an idea, maybe for a business or something, and you'd have to think about it for a few days, sleep on it. Whereas now you just type it into an AI chatbot and it gives you a step by step roadmap on how to complete something in less than 10 seconds. And in some cases, finding something out in under 10 seconds is really a good idea. But I do believe that over reliance on tools like this are creating lazy thinkers. And I'd even go as far as to say it's creating non thinkers. And I will be the first one to admit that I have been struggling with this problem firsthand. And it's not something to be ashamed of because it's just so easy these days. Why would you want to struggle to find information about something when you can just have it in under 10 seconds? It's human nature. It's the path of least resistance. And I don't think this is as big of a concern for us older people who are already in their 20s, have gone through school and university by not having any help, not having any AI chatbot to help you. But this is definitely a concern for the younger generation, the younger ones coming up in the world. It is scary because they are not thinking for themselves, like the amount of AI use in schools these days it's a problem. And an even bigger concern in my mind is that there'll just be more and more individuals that are not really individuals. Their thoughts are not their own. Their ideas are not their own. It's from a chatbot. Even when it comes to things like YouTube, there's very popular AI tools that I even use, to analyze my channel and where I can improve and, things like that. But it can go to a whole new level where you can now just get a script for a YouTube video, like generated in a few minutes, like a whole script from intro to outro, completely done. All you need to do is just read it and add some inflection into your voice, and then boom, you made a great video. And that to me is actually quite scary, dude. Like, this platform is supposed to be something where people are off the cuff. They are themselves in front of the camera. Like, now I'm not speaking as clearly as what I could be if I had prepped this or if I had written this out, but I'm just sitting here ripping this shit right now. And I'm not saying video essay type videos are bad where someone, actually worked on the script themselves. They didn't, use a AI chatbot to generate the thing in a minute. They sat with this thing for hours, typing on their laptop, their own words, their own feelings, and then they shoot the video very well rehearsed. I'm not a hater on those kinds of videos at all because it's still their work. It's still their thoughts and feelings. And I'm not saying that using AI for video ideas is terrible, but you have to put your own soul into it though. Like with anything in this world, whether it's starting a business, whether it's fucking, I don't know. Point is that you need to put your own spin on things and you have to be your own individual with whatever you do because it's the only way you're going to stand out. It's the only way you're going to be unique in whatever it is that you're trying to do. And that's like the only major problem I have with relying on AI all the time because I don't have a strong opinion on AI in general, on, the general effects it's going to have on humanity and all that. Like, I don't really have an opinion on it because I'm not qualified to really have a, worthwhile opinion on it. But I do have an opinion on people using it as a sort of guiding light in their life because that is what's happening in our society now. People are asking ChatGPT or whatever it is for their next move, for their next decision that they need to make. Just type it quickly into the AI and then see what it says, and then we follow that. Like, that is where I think this is getting sketchy, and I don't think it was ever intended to be used that way. I really don't, but that is how people are using it. Whenever they have an idea, let's first run it by AI. What does AI think? We can't do our own thing. We need to first see what the AI says about it. And that's when, as an individual, you lose your uniqueness, you lose your creative spark, you lose your identity in a sense, because you are letting a chatbot direct your life instead of you, instead of your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own intuition. And I can only make a video about this if I have had experience with this problem myself, which I have, because it's become so easy, like I mentioned, to just get anything you want in, a blink of an eye. It's already there. And my problem has come with, game recommendations. What books should I read? What YouTube channel can help me with this? Instead of just going to the bookshop and looking around myself. Instead of just scouring YouTube for what I want the AI to give me the YouTube channels. And yes, I can understand to an extent that this improves your workflows. It improves the efficiency of your life to an extent. But I don't think that taking away the part where you struggle to find something healthy. And that's exactly what running every single thing in your life through AI is doing. It's taking away that struggle, that resistance between the thing that you want and where you currently are. And I just don't think that that can be healthy over the long term. Like, it cannot be. Getting instant gratification like that. I mean, we're already struggling with TikTok brain in our society, but now you can just get all the information that you want in the blink of an eye. If you wanted to create a business, you can say, how do I create a successful vending machine business? And type that in. And in less than 10-15 seconds, you have a whole business plan, vision, and mission statement ready for you. I mean, I don't want to start a vending machine business. That just came to my mind. But it's just crazy that that is where we are as a society. And like, if you look back 20 years, it's just crazy to think that we've come this far. Like, imagine if you went back in time 20 years and spoke to your child self, right? And said, yo, dude, when you grow up one day, you can just type into your computer, make me an image of a mountain range with two horses with boxing gloves on facing off while there's a sunset. And then boom, that shit would get spat out right there just as you thought it up. I think your kid self would first be like super amazed, super awestruck, like, holy shit, I cannot wait until we get to the future. But then your kid self would probably be like, yo, that's actually kind of scary. It's kind of like Terminator Matrix vibes. Okay, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I would still think that you'd be shocked if you had heard that from your future self. Like, I know I would be. I'd be a little bit scared. Personally, I would be quite terrified, because if I have that power, imagine how other people will also use that power, you know? And that, I don't want to delve into like a darker, conversation with this topic, but it's pretty intense to think that this is what we have at our fingertips. We are living in a world where anyone can become an author, anyone can become an artist, anyone can become a YouTuber in less than a minute. And that is very wild. That is absolutely wild. But there is a caveat, ladies and gentlemen, and that is not everyone can be a good YouTuber. Not everyone can be a good author, especially when the majority of YouTubers are using AI to generate their content. Like, I know a lot of people compare Mr. Beast's content to slop content, but you've got to remember that Mr. Beast was the pioneer of that engaging kind of content. I mean, he's the master when it comes to thumbnails. He's not a copy of anyone else. And we are talking about someone who dedicated his whole life to becoming the best at YouTube, and he is. There's no way to dispute it. Even if you don't like his videos, if you don't watch his videos, you got to tip your hat to him, man. He makes the most captivating thumbnails, titles. I mean, I don't want to just make this video about me glazing Mr. Beast, but what I'm trying to say is that he's authentic. He's a pioneer of of his style of content. And also, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you can't emulate other YouTubers. I mean, we have all done it as creators that have seen other YouTubers' thumbnail styles, ideas, and try to put our own spin on it. There's nothing wrong with that, but you need to put your own creativity and soul into the videos that you make. Because if you just straight up copied the title and script of another YouTuber, you've done everything exactly like them. The script, the same kind of edits, everything. People are still not going to watch that video because they've already seen it done by a bigger creator. So that's what I'm saying here, that the authentic creators or with any field that they do, whether it be a business, people are always going to buy from like the main business instead of going to the generic one, unless like the pricing is completely different and you get, the same level of value. But I'm just speaking in a general, broad sense here that authenticity is generally what people gravitate towards. And I don't believe you get authenticity from running every single idea and decision that you want to make through AI, because it pulls from all the resources on the internet. That's where it gets its information from. So how can you develop something authentic like that? But I believe that you can definitely develop an original idea that you've thought about something yourself for a while. Like this is your idea, it's authentic. Yes, AI can help you build on that 100%. But what I'm saying is that the majority of people don't have an original idea. They are asking ChatGPT for original ideas, and for which there is none. Well, that begs the question, how do we get some kind of an original idea without using AI in today's world? Well, I can only speak for myself, and the way that I do it is by living, by life experience, by sitting outside, drinking a cup of coffee, and letting my mind wander. I do that so often, like every single day. I love it. It's just my me time. That is usually where I let my brain do its thing. You're not like trying to think about ideas or whatever. You're just letting your brain wander. You're just letting your mind do its thing. And like I've read so many articles and watched YouTube videos about how important it is at night to not be on screens and, to not flood your brain with anything, be bored, just go sleep or just relax, because that is when your brain does its best work. That's when your subconscious is actually working overtime. Even when it looks like you are not doing anything, that is when the most important work is being done, under the hood, behind the scenes. And I feel that I often wake up with good ideas too. If I was just chilling the night before and I had a very restful evening, I wasn't really on my phone that much. I was just chilling, reading before bed, especially reading fiction before bed. Not being on your phone, but reading some fiction before bed. That when I wake up, it just feels like I have more creative energy that day, and that I don't even need to try to think about an idea. It's like you wake up and it just comes to you. But then obviously there are other days where you just don't have any ideas. And that is completely normal. It's just the human experience. There are good days and there are not so good days. It's completely normal. And I specifically think for people that are in the creative space, and entrepreneurs, it's like you don't want to force it. You don't want to force ideas. It has to come organically. And I've noticed this, like my best YouTube video, the previous one, was purely it just came to me. I was just thinking about my life and dealing with people and, friends, making friends as an adult. And then I just got that idea. It just happened. I wasn't looking for it. I didn't see like another creator do it. And I was like, oh, maybe I should also put my own spin on this and talk about my own life story regarding this. No, I mean, I'm very sure there are creators that have made that exact video before me. But the way I came about it was just living. I was just thinking, and, my brain just brought it up, I guess. And I also think there's like some truth to when you're focusing on something too hard, it like runs away from you. I'm not into the whole manifestation thing, but I know when people say, when you are focusing like you really want this new job or you want this new partner in your life, then, when you are wanting, it's almost like a state of lack and it ends up, evading you. It runs away from you. But when you are just living your life, completely feeling full and, satiated with your life, then these things come to you, these opportunities, these ideas, they find their way to you because you're not in a state of lack. You are living, you are full. And I think that there's some truth to it in regards to getting original ideas. When you are not forcing anything, you are just living. You are just having a good time on this planet. That's when things start happening positively for you. And I just think continually using AI chatbots to fund your idea bank, I just think it'll make you feel helpless because you lose more and more of your own creativity, your own originality. And that's why I think it's important just to move through life and experience things. Experience every day as it comes and let your brain do its thing. There's no reason to force anything. Ideas are going to come to you some days and they're not other days. That's just the human experience. I think the whole thing about the world we live in now is, instant gratification is it's the move, it's the meta. And not getting an idea on the day that we want an idea just doesn't sit well with us, this generation these days. And I think we just need to accept that that's not how we were designed as human beings. We weren't designed to, plant the seed and reap the reward on the same day. It just doesn't work like that. And I need to check myself on this like every day, because I am also heavily affected by instant gratification, because we've gotten so used to it in our daily life. Things are just so easy for us these days. You can order food and it arrives at your doorstep within a half an hour. You don't have to leave your house basically for anything. You want a new PS5, you can order it on Amazon and have it delivered to your door. And I know not everyone has the luxury to live like this, but I'm just speaking in a broad sense, like specifically for people who live in the West. The world is very catered towards our comfort, okay? And I just think gaining success in the business world and in the creative fields, it's not possible to have that kind of mindset when trying to achieve things in a certain space. So to conclude, don't not use AI, but just use your brain too. That's basically what this video is. And I just want to end off by saying thank you to everyone who supported my previous video. I know I got a lot of negative comments in the previous video too, and that's okay if people don't agree with my take, but this channel is just about me talking about my life, my experiences, and what I think about things. And people are not always going to agree with that, and that's completely fine. And I think that's what makes this platform so awesome, is because you don't have to agree with everyone. I just think that's pretty cool, and I wanted to say that. But if you guys would like to support my channel, you can buy me a coffee. The link is in the description. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. We are like 40 subscribers away from hitting our first 100, which is a mega, mega milestone for your boy. I can't believe that, we started this channel like 6 months ago, 5 months ago, and we have a video over 1,000 views. We nearly had 100 subscribers. I know those numbers are like super, super small, but for me, I see the positive in it, and I can see the growth, and it feels really amazing. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.